so this is the floor plan of at least what I imagine our exhibit to be. So the entrance is right here, and you walk into this room, and this is like a 3D model of the solar system hanging from the ceiling. And then this is the door, and you go through the door into here, and it's the circular room, and on the outside there are smaller rooms, and you walk into those rooms, and it's supposed to look like what it would be like if you were on that planet.
This is my little guy, and this is a projector, that little square, that you can kind of see the moon. So yeah, and this guy, this is him reflecting back in the mirror, and there should be a microphone right there that you talk what planet you want to be on, and the projector projects that planet, and it reflects the same thing on the mirror.
Can you show us the front of your guy in the camera? Okay, so he walks into the room, and what does he see? It's like a glass floor.
And there's a microphone.
And there's a mirror that he can see himself.
Yeah, and there's a microphone that you see what planet you want to be on, and the projector projects that planet.
So the projector projects what the planet would look like if you were standing on it.
And then you can walk around, and it looks like you're walking in space. It's a special kind of mirror that looks like you're walking in space.
We were going to do high bungee cords because you could literally jump off Mercury if you wanted to. It's smaller than the moon.
So does that mean that there's no gravity?
There is barely any.
Just barely any gravity.
Yes.
When you are standing on the ground, you feel heavy because the ground is pushing against your feet. And when you're in an elevator, when you're going up, or when you're free falling, nothing is pushing against you, so you feel like you can fly.
Cool. And so that's kind of bungee cords. If you're being lifted up, that feeling of weightlessness. Super. All right.
Next, we are doing Venus next.
Just
yours.
We need to zoom out. There would be a bunch of little mini volcanoes, and there would be one big one.
They were going
right
to be
there.
made out of paper mache, so that it didn't cost much.
Yes, and then you would just paint it black or brown, you know, and then you would put
4-inch plastic in it.
no.
That's what your idea was.
No, it was red plastic on the top, so that way kids, if they try to touch it, they won't be able to do that. But there's just going to be a small light in it, and it won't be a hot light, or else when they touch the if they try to touch the plastic, it would burn them.
Right, we don't want to.
It's not going to be a hot one.
And if it was hot, Venus, my idea was to put one of those fancy ovens
No, we
on top.
were just going to have a few heaters. Anyways, there was going to be a few heaters to make it feel like you were actually there, because it is the hottest planet, even hotter than Mercury.
Even though Mercury is closer, Venus is sometimes called Earth's twin sister.
And why is that?
Because it is the same size as Earth, and scientists believe that if it was aligned right next to Earth, life could exist on it.
Okay.
Yes, it's just that why it's so hot is because it has an
atmosphere that can trap the heat.
Yes, and so it's always so hot during the daytime, but it's really hot during the.
Okay, we were going to put on some little fans in the room,
Every once in a while, it would turn on. It would
making a little storm, and so we put some red sand on the ground, so that when you turn the fan on, you get a sandstorm.
As well as every once in a while.
We were going to paint the walls
Don't want to
black.
get it in your teeth.
Black.
Just don't want to get it in your mouth. Sand in your mouth. Yeah.
Maybe put on a helmet.
And this is Jupiter. There's gonna be
It's a gas planet. We were going to put up different color of those lights,
mostly
and then
red.
do fog machines so that you get the gas and those lights project different colors. Saturn is a gas planet. We once sent a space probe to Saturn, and it got a quick glimpse of the clouds, and then it went dead because it's the second largest planet. It got crushed. So we were thinking of putting a pile of metal on the ground and saying that's the smashed space probe. Next, Pluto, the last one. We were thinking this one would be the kids' room because it's such a small planet. We were doing railways for the bungee cord so that you go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And we were going to take some jungle gyms, some of them upside down, buried in the ground, so that the kids could jump in and then climb out. Some would be right side up with all the holes plugged. Then you'd take these styrofoam balls because Pluto is constantly getting hit with meteorites, so they will be,
because it has
so
no
inside those
atmosphere.
they'll be bouncing around everywhere, and then on the bungee cord, swoosh, you'll be trying to not get hit by them.
So you're throwing meteorites at each other. That's what you're saying.
No, just start the bouncing.
Oh, so they just kind of fall from the sky? You're getting.
You just start throwing them, and then you try to not get hit by them on the bungee cord.
On Pluto, they would there would be these I forgot what they're called.
Jungle gyms?
No, those. Remember?
Little holes in the meteorites.
And the
Crater?
craters. There would be craters that they could climb into and have some.
That's what the upside jungle gyms are. They'll climb
Into craters.
and then climb
Okay. How fun. Is that it? Do you talk about the fact that Pluto isn't really a planet, or you just kind of ignore that?
No, we just ignored that, which is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
You might want to mention that this is just a playground and not a planet.
No, it's not a playground.
Oh, and every once in a while there would be this golf ball rolling around, and that would
Because
be
one of Pluto's moons
One of its moons, a golf ball.
Not that I might mention to you, not that you might be able to see, but I'm not wearing regular shoes. They're magnetic. I'm going to show you what it would be like to be on a planet with more than Earth's 1G.
Oh, sorry.
Though you cannot feel the whole thing from all of your body. If you want to do that, you must have your whole body in action. An example of this would be if you were in an elevator the last time you were in it. When you are in the elevator and you start to go up with the ride, you will feel heavier and heavier until you get to the point where you're almost at the destination. Then you'll start feeling less heavy. And once you come to a complete stop, you'll feel the same way. And then you'll go back to feeling Earth's 1G. And that is all.
So, Jackson, does it happen? What happens when you were talking about going up in an elevator,
Yeah.
and so that feeling of going up makes you feel kind of like you're heavier,
Yeah,
you're getting shorter.
like you're heavier and heavier.
So what happens when you go down in an elevator?
Well,
You get lighter?
You feel like you're getting taller? Is that a little bit like having less fold?
yeah, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
These are magnetic shoes.
Shoulder.
You'd enter your birthday here, then you'd do this calculate. I don't know if Mom meant to do that. I know what calculate means, but I don't know. Anyway, you'd put in your birthday and it'd tell you if you lived on Mercury all your life, then you would be that many days old. Though, really, it's not a computer screen. We can't tell you because we don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like a secret. I'm not like, we can't tell you because it's a secret. It's just we don't know. Your age, your days. I don't know why the computer said that, but really, if you do something on the computer, you can probably ask my mom. Well, I'm pretty sure you could ask my mom.
So this board is representing stuff that you can do on the computer in the exhibit.
Yes.
Jack?
I think I'd like to tell you the most of all.
Okay.
I am very Mom says that we are very lucky that I read this. Because it would have said Pluto is the only planet comes inside the orbit of another planet but it. But Mom misspelled it. That's the thing that I really like to tell you. Well, one revolution around the sun would be 1 year. If you revolve around the sun faster than you rotate around in circles and rotating, once you make one full rotation of a planet, that means that it's a day. So if the rotation is slower than the planet revolves, then you can be way more days old than the years old.
That's pretty cool.
Like, here's the really funny thing, though, about Venus. On Venus, really, in like half a day on Venus, it's 1 full year that's passed.
Wow.
So 1 full year before the day is even over.
That's amazing.
So then, like, by 1 day, you're 2 years old.